what a morning this has been. It started extremely early for us when we got a tip that Khloe Kardashian had her baby, and boy, there were twists and turns with this, and we finally broke the story on the website, what, about 8:30-ish?
Is that what time it was?
I wish it was only 8:30. I think it was closer
later.
to 10.
No. We were done with the show by then, and we did it was during the...
it was 9:30. I want to say like 9:30.
I think it was before then.
9:24.
There you go. Just look on the site. It was 9:24.
So anyway, but we got it, and she had it. So
yes, around very early. Actually, it was about our time. It was 1 a.m. It was about around 4 a.m. In Cleveland.
But there's a headline here.
Yeah.
There was a big headline, and you know
about a 7-foot headline.
A 7-foot headline.
Tristan Thompson was in the delivery room when Khloe gave birth, and not only Tristan, Kris, Kim, Kourtney, and Khloe's best friend Malika. So you got to imagine there's a little bit of tension there.
Really packed delivery room.
But a lot of tension. Brad's right. I mean, they are none too pleased with Tristan Thompson after, you know, all these videos have surfaced and stories have come out that he was kind of...
If you're Tristan Thompson, you want to say this is, it's a glorious occasion. You're there for the birth of your daughter, but you're surrounded by a lot of people who are not happy with you at the moment.
You know what, though? This just shows Khloe's maturity,
really
guys.
does.
I mean, she understands the magnitude of this moment. I mean, who knows what the future holds for Tristan and his daughter, but say it's a good one. His daughter could look back one day and say, hey, why wasn't Dad there in the delivery room? And all because of some drama.
Is that something? No, I got to say, on Chloe's side, yes, definitely.
Has anybody ever asked that question, by the way?
Is that something that people say?
I never asked that question. I've never asked that question.
I never
I've been thinking about this since we talked about it earlier.
About my birth.
I don't know nothing.
I don't want to know anything.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's why it's so mature. Brad's right. It's mature. It's not so much because of the kid. It's because Khloe understands. He is the dad.
She's got a lifetime of co-parenting.
And she is going to have to co-parent with him no matter what she ends up doing with him. And he is the father of this child. And you want to start out where it's inclusive.
Right.
That's easier said than done, by the way.
Yes, definitely easier said than done. But if she had, the other way is she says, I don't want him anywhere near me.
Which, by the way, you would totally understand if
you
she
would
did
understand, but that then sets the tone for their relationship of
a divisive relationship between
Yeah.
them and the kid having to choose sides.
This is so incredibly mature.
Or there's another situation is that maybe this kind of leaves a crack in the door that things, we're all assuming that things are over between Tristan Thompson and Khloe
We're not.
Kardashian.
Remember, Khloe was ride or die with Lamar Odom.
Yeah.
So we don't know, and we don't know what we don't know what the relationship is. So my understanding is a lot of the Kardashian family is not happy
now, but they may work it out. Who knows?
But at this point, do you keep Thompson as the baby's last name? Or do you even not want to hyphen it and just keep Kardashian?
I got to say, the fact that she wanted him, or allowed him, however you want to view it, to be in the delivery room is a clue that she will, if he wants the baby to have his name, which I'm presuming he does, that she'll be down with that.
See,
because it's the same thing. It's the same issue of divisiveness as far as co-parenting.
But I would argue.
Here comes a doozy.
Here we go.
It's not a doozy.
It's gonna be a doozy.
Yep, no, it's definitely, when you do this thing where you sort of amble up and you go
meandering around and half smiling.
I would argue.
And time for a commercial break.
I would argue that it makes more sense to have this kid named Kardashian because that name carries so much value in terms of what the kid can do with it in the future that whether they get along, don't get along, whatever else, Thompson is Thompson. Kardashian means something.
Thompson is Thompson.
Well, I'm saying it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Wow.
Kylie's baby is Stormy Webster, though. She didn't go with that, and no one knows Thompson.
I get it.
All of Kim's kids, their last names are West.
I just think Kardashian has a value to it. It's got a,
So what you're saying is, from the moment that the child pops out into the world, you should be thinking, make that money.
Okay, here's the thing, Ben. Ben,
I'm asking you.
I think Ben was right. That was a doozy.
As opposed to you, who thinks that women are somehow subordinate to men, and that they automatically should be taking a man's name. What's the point of taking a man's name?
When did I say that?
He's the father.
Because you're throwing shade
on
my
throwing
theory.
shade. No, your idea had nothing to do with the dynamics of a family. It had to do with a financial bottom line. And I'm thinking that's pretty precious.
Well, here's the thing. My idea is this, that you could go either way, And there's nothing to me that says that the man should have the name of the
now
last
you're
name of the
accusing
child.
me, Anthony.
Then why not have both?
Now you're Gloria Steinem.
Because
you talk about making this cash.
Kardashian means something. If it was a male Kardashian that had the baby,
so Van's right. All you're talking about is money.
Well, it's money.
All you're talking about is money.
Give the kid an opportunity. Give the kid an
The
opportunity.
father is worth
$100
$100 million.
Give the kid
The father is filthy rich.
$100 million. He will
Harvey.
still have the $100 million. Are you telling me that if this kid is, Samantha?
By the way, she doesn't have a name yet. As of right now,
right,
they
no
haven't
name
given
yet.
her name.
Samantha Thompson. That's going to be as meaningful as Samantha Kardashian?
Meaningful to
Seriously?
To whom? Yeah.
Did you ever read Malcolm Gladwell?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Malcolm Gladwell talks about
this doozy is just going on
talks
and on
about
and on.
giving a kid opportunity. This is simply opportunity.
Well, I think
This
the
child
kid,
will
the kid's
have opportunity.
father
You can name the
being
kid
a $100 million NBA player is plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, name the kid Bozo, Samantha Bozo. Just give her that name, and
I'm not
she's
gonna
still
give the kid Samantha
she's still
Bozo.
gonna have
Samantha
opportunity.
Bozo.
Her mother is world famous. Her father is famous. They are both extremely rich. She has opportunity.
Yeah, but then you're making
the name doesn't
making the
matter.
kid a trust fund baby.
I'm saying the
kid
name
should
doesn't
have
matter.
the opportunity to have the ability to be
the kid is gonna
successful
have
on
all
her
the
own.
opportunities. They will. And they'll have an
And
incredible economic head start over most of the other
and
kids.
you don't think it helps to have the name Kardashian?
I don't know. I don't know what
well,
that name's
you
going to
do
mean
know.
in a little
You
while. I don't know what that name's going to mean in the
Then
future.
why
But
didn't Kim give? Then why aren't Kim's kids' last name
Because
Kardashian?
you didn't talk to me.
Can we get to French Montana?
Sure.
We got French Montana out last night before the birth, of course, and asked him about Khloe's situation. Khloe's situation where Tristan's concerned. And remember, of course, this is Khloe's ex. So how does
An ex who swoops in.
who has a history of swooping? So let's see what French is planning. I mean, thinking.
Any advice for your real
Who's you with? Just tell me to do something. Sweetheart.
Let me tell you something, man.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
I just want everybody to be happy.
I love it.
That's all we promoting.
I love it.
When there's negativity, I duck and move, Poppy.
Love you, French.
We're doing good. We're living good. We're healthy. We're wealthy. Al Green.
Al Green.
Love, peace, and happiness.
Michael Polite from Phoenix, Arizona. I think it allows them to start the parenting off with a healthy relationship. I just hope this allows Tristan to rebound, something he hasn't been able to do on the court.
Wow. That's pretty good. Oh, speaking of basketball, by the way, last night at the game in Cleveland.
Yeah, Tristan was it was their final home game. He walked out, and actually, I would say all in all, he wouldn't complain about this response.
There were some boos.
There were some.
Cavaliers foul number 13, Tristan Thompson, his first, team second. And the line for the next 2 shots, Jerry Jack.
Yeah, there were some boos there.